Scorpios, I'm Christy, you're watching Tiny Turtle Tarot, and this is your reading for the week ahead. As always, if anything I say resonates or you feel it will in the future, please let me know by liking and subscribing. Let's get on with your reading. What's happening for the beautiful Scorpios this week? Firstly, you have the Knight of Swords, then you have the King of Swords, then you have Temperance, then you have the Seven of Cups. So as always, I'm going to talk you through these cards first and then clarify and get more information out of them. But firstly, Knight of Swords is the energy of the knight in shining armor. So whether this be you kind of embodying this savior energy or somebody towards you, there's definitely a feeling of somebody wanting to protect or help someone. Take it as it resonates. Cross watches always welcome. It can go either way, but there's definitely a feeling of, I feel it's like you, Scorpio, for a lot of you, there's a need to want to help or fix or change those around you. I won't know to clarify it more whether that's right, but that's just what I feel from looking at what I've got at the minute. Then you have King of Swords, which is making me kind of feel that way even more. It feels as if you're in charge this week. Man or woman doesn't matter, you're just embodying the King of Swords energy. You're very intelligent, you're a lot more smart than people give you credit for. But with the King of Swords, there's something where it just feels as if you're talking to a brick wall sometimes. It just feels like you're saying everything perfectly. You couldn't be more clear with what you're communicating, but people aren't listening, is what I feel from looking at this card. It's doing more harm than good because you're saying all the right things, but it might be to the wrong people, or it might be to people that have no interest in changing or no interest in listening to your perspective. Then you have Temperance. Temperance, very nice card, very healing, very calming, and it feels as if you might take time out and away from people, or away from people that, at least with that King of Swords, fall like people that aren't your people. With the Temperance card, it feels like you're distancing yourself. It's not like you're giving up on people, but you're just taking a time out from certain individuals that don't see your perspective or aren't even willing to see things from your perspective. You're taking your own time to just breathe and embrace your own company and your own happiness and your own peace of mind. And it feels very healing, and it feels very calming. Like you might just need that bit of calm this week, away from the chaos of potentially dumb people. Dumb sounds harsh, but it's the only word I'm thinking of right now. Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is all about illusions. Seven of Cups is all about daydreaming, procrastinating sometimes, but just thinking up all these different options. And I feel as if that might be why you go into this kind of meditative energy, is you're trying to brainstorm, or you're trying to clear your mind in order to then have a clear blank slate to come up with a new plan. And I feel as if some of you, that plan, you're just kind of dancing around different ideas and different options and seeing how they would play out. Some of you, I can't figure out if this is to do with love, if this is business, if this is career. It feels like a lot of you it's love because of that Seven of Cups. Like you have a lot. It's like you can wear a lot of different hats and you can communicate different ways in order for people to benefit, different ways people listen, and you're figuring out the best way to be for somebody to understand you. And I feel as if that might be the wrong way to go about it, but you're not going to figure that out quite yet, where you go, I don't actually need to change myself. I don't need to, it's not that you're trying to change yourself, it's that you're trying to morph yourself into an easier digestible version for someone else to understand. And I don't think you realise yet that you can be your full self, and whether they understand you or not, they're going to have to figure out a way to understand you, to learn your language. It's not your problem. You shouldn't have to, I don't know, it just feels as if like that language word is coming through real strong. You wouldn't, if you spoke a different language, you wouldn't then change the way the language works so that somebody that doesn't speak the language can understand it easier. It would make things way more confusing. And I feel as if you might be trying to make yourself easier to understand or easier to get. And the more you're trying, to simplify yourself, the more confusing it's getting for someone to understand you, if that makes sense. Clarify the Knight of Swords. You have the Queen of Pentacles with the Knight of Swords. Definitely feel as if you're achieving a lot, or have in recent months, years even, achieved a lot, and that's that Knight of Swords energy, as you now are aware that others can do that too, and others can change their lives too, and others can work hard and succeed too. And that's why that Knight of Swords is coming in, because you might kind of want to show a lot of people what they're capable of and what they can do if they put their mind to it. Queen of Pentacles, she's very rich in not just things, but she has built a very nice, happy, warm life for herself. And I just feel as if with that Knight of Swords, you're like, look, but you could do it too. And I don't know why I'm getting a visual of this knight chasing off someone. It's almost like the more you try to show someone what they're capable of, it's going to scare them more. I don't know who it is you're trying to mentor or help or change, but the more you try to show them what they can do, the more scared they're getting, because they're like, oh, I am in control. I can't blame certain circumstances. I can choose differently next time. Like, there's something where you mean well, but somebody's just scared by the actual control they have over their own life when they look at what you've achieved and done, even with the circumstances you found yourself in. It's scary to them that they could have done the same or can do the same, and they can't just blame certain, like, I don't know if you're not seeing it how someone else is seeing it. You're like, you could do anything, and they're like, I can do anything. Oh god. Like, they're daunted by the idea, whereas you see that as a exciting prospect. Clarify the Temperance card for Scorpio. Knight of Cups. I knew on this other side of your reading there is something about love. So that mentoring thing, that doesn't feel like it's about love, which is nice, because I didn't want it to be like the typical you're trying to fix someone or save or change someone, and it's not. It feels as if your other half of the reading is, however, with that Seven of Cups, of you you want someone to understand you, which is understandable. It's understandable you'd want someone to understand you. And the more you try to make that happen, the less it happens. Anyways, you have Knight of Cups clarifying Temperance. I feel as if once you get into this calm state of just finding this inner peace, embracing what's happening in your world, not trying to change it, not trying to alter it, not trying to, I don't know why I'm getting something about the weather. So you and someone else this week could be bad weather on something you've planned, and with the Knight of Cups it's like, just embrace it, just go with the flow, just embrace whatever the weather's doing. With the Knight of Cups coming in, it feels as if you're going to succeed in furthering a relationship just by being in the moment and getting out of your head. Some of you really would benefit from meditating and just finding that calm, and so that when this Knight of Cups, when this romantic energy comes towards you, you are able to embrace it and see it for what it is, rather than getting caught up in your mind. Clarify the Seven of Cups. Eight of Wands. I said there's something about languages, or there's something about being able to communicate and understand. Eight of Wands, all about communicating messages, fast changes, fast action, fast messages coming towards you, and they're already on their way. And this as well, I'm just getting translating. Like, there's definitely a different language someone speaks. For some reason, there's something about that's coming through. With Seven of Cups though, don't get caught up in trying to be understood where you change yourself, basically. Especially if you're single and you're getting to know new people, it just feels as if you're so busy trying to be understood that you dilute yourself or water yourself down into a simpler version, and it's the actual, truest, complicated, difficult version of you that is the most attractive. The real version of you, not the one that's simpler and easier and mysterious or whatever it may be that you think you have to become. Just be you. And I know that's oversaid, but even if you're in a relationship already, it just feels as if your true self has been somehow morphed into a perfecter version that isn't actually attractive in the eyes of someone else. And it doesn't matter what's attractive in the eyes of someone else. I feel as if at its core you don't even like the person you see yourself becoming if you carry on down the road you're on. It's like this robotic, perfect version that isn't true. And when you actually are your true self, you like yourself more. I feel as if you're heading down a path now of carry on, or actually be you and like yourself and be more proud of yourself for daring to be yourself. I feel as if you're going to see a huge, fast change. I feel as if your decision has already been made. You've already realised, like, all these different parts you could play, all these different hats you could wear that are easier and simpler to understand. You're trying to categorize yourself maybe into one box. Maybe you are someone that has like 3 or 4 careers and you're like, well, what is my title? And there's something with the 8 of Wands where you actually realize, oh, actually I don't have a title. I do all these things, and I don't need to have, I'm not just whatever your job is, right? You don't have to be like, oh, I'm a pilot or I'm a baker. You don't have to have that thing. You're not destined to just be that one word. You are a person, and there's more to you than meets the eye. And just don't stress about what you are, what your category is, or what your job title is. Don't stress. Embrace being all that you are all the time. I'm going to wrap your reading up here. Thank you so much for watching. If anything I said resonated or you know it will in the future, please let me know by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next Tuesday for Tiny Tall Tarot Tuesdays.